We are live. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. This is Chandra, Chats During Naps. I am so excited to introduce you to an amazing guest today, Ruth Young-Loaeza. Please let me know if I mispronounced that. She is the inventor of the sheet we all needed but didn't know we needed. So with that, as you know, we're doing this while our kids are asleep. So fingers crossed that my children actually stay asleep for the entire interview. Let's get started. Ruth, so glad you could join us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Thank you, Chandra. Thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Ruth Young-Loaeza. I'm the CEO and founder of Genius on Development and the inventor of the Need Sheets. So far I have two patents for this bed sheet, and we are right now working on putting the bed sheets in a few hotels. So we're doing great progress. Great progress with that.
Yeah, no, you've had such a remarkable entrepreneurial journey. And let's just start from the beginning. When did the Neat Sheet, when did you have an idea for this innovative product?
So I've been cleaning houses for 24 years. I
Mhm.
recently quit cleaning houses, and while I was cleaning houses, I came up with many ideas of how to improve many household products. And what happened is that one day after a car accident, I was on my way to drop off one of my children to school. They're all adults, but on that day, we got into a car accident, and that's when I look back, I think that's when this journey started. So we end up homeless because of that accident.
Wow.
And so all these ideas that I have had while cleaning houses, I finally gave life to some of them in this period of homelessness. And so that's uh, if I'm looking for exact place where I gave life to this idea,
Mhm.
it was back then. It was then.
Wow. So you're experiencing this period of homelessness. You have children. How do you how do you keep going, right? I mean, it would have been so easy to just focus on the present, the homelessness itself, and just be in a state of survivability, right? How did you rise above that?
So my children, at the time, they were out of the house. So it was my husband, myself, and our three little dogs. But so I needed to recuperate from the accident. And what happened is that it was exactly that what helped me rise to a
Mhm.
different plane where I wasn't focusing on the disgrace of living on the streets. I never thought that that would happen to me. I have always
Mhm.
been working, and at the time, I was sometimes cleaning from at least 2 to 4 5 houses a day. So we
Mhm.
were living good, right? We were having a normal life. But during the period of homelessness, i um I believe my faith was proof. I'm
Mhm.
a Christian, and I
Mhm.
always thought that there was something else for me besides cleaning houses. But my idea was that I was going to have a company, probably the competition of Molly Mate, and that was my
Mhm.
vision. But I always asked God, what was my gift? And
Right.
it took this time to show me what was my gift. And I share this humbly. I believe that all the ideas that I have while I was cleaning houses uh, needed to be shared with the world. So I
Yeah.
knew for a fact that people struggle, and I knew that people in the hospitality industry struggle when making the beds. And so while I was homeless, every day I will go outside to this field, and I'll be praying, looking up to heaven, and asking God, how do you want me to do this?
Mhm.
What can I do to keep my sanity? And so suddenly, um, I received a message from one of my clients and friends, and
Mhm.
she shared this message of the law of attraction. It was then when I started seeing that there was something else. There was a purpose why I was homeless, and I needed to use that time wisely. And I
Yeah.
did. So I started creating prototypes and drawings, simple drawings and prototypes of some ideas that I have had. And that's, to answer
Mhm.
your question, what helped me rise to the next level, even if it was
Right.
just emotionally and mentally, because it wasn't financially.
Right. No, that's incredible and really, really inspirational because, out of a seemingly impossible situation, right? You were able to rise above that successfully. So you have these ideas in your head. You're narrowing it down to what will eventually be the neat sheet. What was a challenge, right? To take this from idea to reality.
So what happened is that it finally we started getting a break. My husband and I finally recuperated, and so one day when we first week or second week we moved into our little house, um, my husband woke up and he was upset because the bed sheet kept coming off,
Hmm.
and he woke me up, and I was like so he said, hey, can you get some better sheets? And he was complaining, and
Hmm.
I thought to myself, I know exactly how to fix this. I know.
Hmm.
So what I did, I got the first prototype done with the help of one of my friends, and put the same bed sheet that was coming off the mattress that same night, and the problem was solved. It didn't
Hmm.
come off anymore. So finally, same thing happened about a week after, or a couple of weeks. He noticed that the bed sheet wasn't coming off, and so he's like, he lifted up the blanket and he's like, "Hey, where did you get this from?" And I said, "I made it, or it was my idea." And so he
Hmm.
pulled the blanket and he's like, "Hey, we need to do something about this." And he's 6'1". You have met my husband, and I look up to him and I said, "We? Oh, now we speak French."
Right.
And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, so, um, okay." So I said, never, when I was working on my prototypes and ideas and the drawings, it's not like I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and that." I was just that to rise above the situation. But
Right.
when I found myself, my husband noticed the bed sheet. He said, literally, he said, "We need to protect this idea." I have no knowledge of how to do that. And so basically, he went, search online. We end up going to the Invention Con at the headquarters of the United States Patent and Trademark
Hmm.
Office in 2017. We went there, and actually we were just getting back on our feet, and so we were not financially doing well, and we slept in the rental car. We flew to DC and we went to the conference and we did that, and that was the beginning of the journey, how to protect the idea. That's where we started learning the steps.
Right. Right. And just to brag on you, you know, it takes a lot of dedication and perseverance to fly to another state for a conference and end up having to sleep in your rental car because you just don't have the budget for things. So I'm just I am in awe. um, if you could chat with Ruth uh, from that period of time as you are today, if you could chat with your um, younger entrepreneurial self, what would you tell her?
When I believe now that I have always been an entrepreneur. I have worked for a few people, and I see that I'm not a hireable material. I have to work for myself under my own conditions. So I would tell myself that um, I'm capable, that I need to, that I would tell Ruth, you're capable, you can do it, you're smart, and don't be afraid. Because I was
Mhm.
very afraid. Um, I always said to people back in the day, oh, my boss. So I have like 20 bosses because I was cleaning houses, right? Then
Right.
one day I realized that they were my clients. So now I refer to them as my clients with respect. I love all these people, but I would tell myself that I'm capable, I'm smart, I'm unstoppable. um I see myself now that as that. I
Yeah.
didn't see that back then.
Yeah. No, I mean, you to go from that period until now, that is the epitome of unstoppable, you know? So like even at that time, there's this phrase called excuse me, imposter syndrome, where you're successful, but you don't really think that you're good enough, right? It sounds like you might have experienced that on your journey.
Yes.
So how did you uh, quiet that negative Nancy that's on your shoulder that's telling you you can't do that?
I can tell you exactly when that happened. When I started in this new entrepreneurial journey, I
Mm-hmm.
I was very embarrassed, and you obviously know that that English is my second language. So to add to all the things that I have in my head stopping me,
Mm-hmm.
it was the fact that my English wasn't perfect or isn't
Mm-hmm.
perfect, and so um, I decided that when the United States Patent and Trademark Office invited me as a guest speaker,
Yeah.
before that, they feature an article at the web page, the official web page of the USPTO, and I just couldn't believe it. My knowledge is that they interview inventors from all across the United States, and I was one of them. And they sent me an email telling me that they have chosen me to be featured for their online magazine. I honestly couldn't believe it. I thought,
Yeah.
oh, I have to see to believe. When I saw it, I, I was like, okay. But it was when they invited me to be a guest speaker that I thought, if the United States Patent and Trademark Office is telling me that I'm an inventor, I am an inventor, because
Yeah.
I saw myself and I was told, I'm not pointing fingers, but I was told by a couple, few people. One of my clients told me, "Don't forget, you are the maid." I know she didn't mean it in a mean way, but somehow, it's still, even as nice as she tried to say it, it in my brain, I received that as, "Oh my gosh, okay." So it was kind of like she threw a rock at me and kind of like hit me, right? But at the same time, I decided that I wasn't going to let that define me. And now, even though it's still happening, I decide that I'm not going to live with the imposter syndrome. That
Right.
I received my second patent. I'm on my way for my third patent, and I'm not the cleaning lady. I'm someone that was doing that as a job, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a bigger vision.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's really harmful, right? Whether I'm not going to go into her. I don't know her. I've never met her. I'm not going to assume. But listening to those words, if her words were, "Don't forget, you're still the maid," yeah, that's not okay.
Well, let me
Um,
tell you. So there's always the yay. So the yay part was that she was the first person I let go as my client, cleaning houses. It was her. It's that kind of people that pushes you to do better. You need them.
yeah,
You
right.
need them.
I agree with you. There's a reason why you have folks in sports, really competitive, bruising sports like rugby and football, and the coaches are screaming at them and they may be saying some negative things. Negative things are almost, if not more, of a push for you to do better than positive affirmations, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Some of us are contrary like that and to respond well to, some of those haters out there, because that's a hater remark. Um, to do better and be better and go for that goal. So, you can thank her. Thank
Yeah,
her for
definitely. One
pushing
day.
you in a better direction.
No, I
Um,
just saw that she checked my LinkedIn, and I was surprised, and I was like, "Oh, I'm glad she did." I'm gonna thank her one day, because her words, even though they were hurtful, they were like an injection of like energy. I'm gonna
yeah,
show you that I'm not just a maid.
right, right. That's another thing that one of our viewers chimed in and said we need male female equality. Absolutely. Um, one commenter chimed in, say thank all the haters.
Yeah, yeah. My children taught me this phrase: "Haters are my motivators."
Yes,
Yeah.
they are. Um, so, switching gears a little bit, um, when you're an inventor with such a fantastic product, it's important to get out there and network. How have you been able? It's two-part question. How have you been able to network for your business during a pandemic?
So it's been fantastic. I'm not really a big fan of technology, but technology can be amazingly great if you channel that resource in the right way. Um, Networking, it's been everything from that's how I met you. I had met
Yeah.
amazing people because I started going to a program here, then that program connected me with another program, and so on. I've been a part of the most amazing programs in the San Diego area. You and I
Mhm.
met through
Yeah.
one of the
Right.
uh, it was ranked fifth in the San Diego area, right, the Stella Labs.
Right.
And I mean,
Yeah.
networking has been amazingly great for my company.
Mhm.
During the pandemic, I haven't stopped networking. I'm doing what I'm doing right now with you,
Right.
and someone here might look at this uh, call and will connect with me, or I will connect with
Right.
them. And then you don't know how that new connection is going to catapult you to the next level. It has happened to me several times. I cannot stress enough um, the fact that if you're an entrepreneur, please do not give up. Connect, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, Twitter, all these platforms that will connect you with other people. Try to stay connected with people in your same field, but never discard the other people that might know somebody. I mean, I have received amazing connections, introductions with other people from someone that has nothing to do with my industry. But the fact that
Right.
I was at this event and they heard me pitch my idea, or they heard of me and they send me an email, hey, um, the pandemic can be something that can be working in your favor if you know how to continue moving forward. Do not give room to the pessimist stats that, oh, I can do anything. I mean, believe me, I can give several examples of people that you will think, really, you actually use this to your favor. I mean,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
No, you mentioned all of the social media platforms. Um, and then you also mentioned the power of LinkedIn and some of those accelerator programs. You and I, we met. I'll name one out loud if you're okay with that.
Yeah,
There are accelerator programs for all types of groups. The one that Ruth and I met at were for military spouses and veterans specifically, and it's
yeah,
called the Rosie Network.
yeah,
It's a wonderful cohort in San Diego, and it really takes a business from idea to inception. So, we had a wonderful time learning and growing together at that cohort.
Yeah, that's right. My apologies. Yes,
No,
the Rossi Network, awesome. The service to CEO programs, amazing. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. So during that time, you also shared some things that were holding you back, and you mentioned that English is your second language. How did you, how did you just say, you know what, this is a fear of mine, but I'm still going to push through? Like what's that thought process?
Okay, just to give you an example, so the University of San Diego took me into one of their programs, and
Mhm.
you talk to people at a different level, professionals, and all these people that are in the high tech. One day I was pitching or practicing, um,
Mhm.
and then I go and bed sheets, right? Bed sheets.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use that word very, very often. I cannot present my product without saying shit.
Right.
So they and I'm just giving you this as an example. I hope I don't offend anyone, but this is what
No.
truly happened. So pitching, doing my 30-second pitch practice, and I have these some attorneys, couple of attorneys and people, and I'm like, have you ever um have your shit snap off the bed? And I just started hyperventilating, and I'm like, I'm sorry, and they just started laughing so hard. And someone
Mhm.
said, "Way to break the ice, Ruth. Way to break the ice."
Yeah.
So in Spanish, when you write down the word sheet, it pronounces
Mhm.
the other word. So then I wrote my pitch, and I put the actual word in English, um,
Mhm.
so I can say it, so I can pronounce it. So I put shit, and when my advisor, she'll remember. She's like, "Oh, no, Ruthie, that's not how you pronounce." I said, "No, I know, Natalia. Believe me, I know. It's just that when I'm reading it, I will say it correctly." So just to give you an idea that the struggle was real sometimes, but
Mhm.
I thought, I'm not gonna let that define me, and I'm gonna overcome this. It takes practice. And then I saw that a lot of entrepreneurs have very smart people. I have always told some people that has the wrong idea of someone who has a second language, that they might be less smart. In I was very afraid for people to perceive me that way. So um, seeing other entrepreneurs having accents gave me the strength that I needed to see, hey, you're not the only one. That
Yeah.
shouldn't stop you. It's
Yeah.
just something that and
Right.
become better. And I
Yeah.
practicing a lot.
Yeah.
My pronunciations and stuff that that I have to use very often when talking. So that's how I've been progressing, moving forward.
Right. Right. We have just a few more minutes in our interview, but I wanted to touch on manufacturing. Now that you've got your sheets in some hotels and other places, Airbnbs and whatnot, what is how were you able to find your manufacturers, your vendors? What was that process?
One, as a part of the program at the University of San Diego, helped me with that. Um,
Hmm.
they were amazing people. They are amazing people helping me there, and that's how. With another manufacturer that I'm starting to do business with, I was pitching my product and for the NSB, and this
Hmm.
person just send me an email, and this person told me, can we connect? I can connect you with a manufacturer. And so
Right.
we're working on that as of today, to see a reduction in price for hopefully, I'm praying that it happens, for easily 70% or more. But yeah, that's how I got connected. That's how or why I keep emphasizing to entrepreneurs that it's very important to continue
Mhm.
networking, because you never know how you're gonna get something beneficial to your business.
Yeah, and also you mentioned that you're involved in a couple of cohorts. So being involved in those type of accelerator groups exposes you to those sources, those vendors, again, those connections that you need in order to grow your business. So
Yes.
I'd encourage, entrepreneurs to seek out some of those cohorts and accelerator groups if they want to get their business to the next level.
Yeah.
The other thing is those vendor relationships. Oh my goodness. Hold on for 1 second.
No problem. Well, for everyone watching us, because I'm pretty sure there is someone there, I'm going to encourage you entrepreneurs to don't let this pandemic situation stop you. I was doing some talking, so you're
Right. No,
basically.
no, that's perfect. Thank you. You never want to go dark on a live interview. Um, but like that building that relationship, that vendor relationship, how did you know that this is potentially the vendor that you want to move forward with?
You know, I believe that there is only one way to find out, and that's by exploring the possibilities. I
Mhm.
don't think that you can know for certain, or maybe because I'm just beginning this journey, I don't know better, but I've been doing this, and as a woman of faith, I pray, I fast, and I ask God for guidance. And
Mhm.
I just believe that everything is a teaching experience. In my case, it's working, and
Yeah.
I just don't go to the first one. I do my homework because we
Right.
interview different manufacturing companies, but we decided that the one that we were going for um, had the qualities that we were looking for a partnership for someone that would be manufacturing our product. So I believe do your homework and explore the possibilities. And sometimes, going with your gut feeling and
Right.
receiving advice from experienced people can be the perfect combination.
Right. No, absolutely. So I love talking about the manufacturing process and getting a hold of those relationships that are going to make you or push you to the next level.
Yeah.
Um, I started after I got in the military. I started in a manufacturing company. So I don't want to. Well, that's a whole different tangent. You know what? I think one of my kiddos woke up and my husband is struggling with keeping him quiet.
Oh,
So we're gonna wrap this up in the next couple of minutes.
sure.
Um, what final words of wisdom would you like to leave the audience with today? And I'm
Don't
gonna
let
put myself on mute so you can get your message across.
don't let other people define who you are. And if you have a dream, if you if you have a dream and you know that that dream is going to be of benefit to others, do not take it with you. The cemetery or the graveyard is the richest place on earth, because that's where many books, many inventions, many songs, many poems, and the most beautiful things that a human being can create are buried with them. Don't be one of them, and share your talents, your gifts with the world. That's why you have them, to share it with the world. And you're unique and special, and do not let anyone else tell you otherwise.
Oh, Ruth, that was powerful. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your journey, your struggles. We really appreciate I know our audience really appreciated hearing from you. I'm just going to read one of the comments that I really enjoyed. They were like, you got patents on a bed sheet. He was like, I gotta see this. That's amazing. Or he used that's dope. But you get it.
Go to
That's
my website.
so, all of you guys that were tuning in, check out our website. It's pretty fantastic. I know our household can really benefit from these sheets because we have crazy sleepers, and those sheets never stay on through the night. Uh,
Pretty soon they'll be available
right.
in the e-commerce, and I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you all for tuning in to Chats During Naps. We'll see you next nap time at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Ruth, again, thank you so much for joining us. And all of
Thank
you guys that were tuning in, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
you.
Bye.
Bye.